Hello, welcome to the Mark on Marketing live show. I'm your host, Mark Weisenburger. I am a disruptive marketer and a two-time #1 best-selling author. I'm excited for today. We have an amazing guest. We are going to look at the inside of the corporate world of network marketing today. We've in the past, we've talked to network marketers. We've visited with leadership and personal development experts. And today we have an amazing guest. We've been friends for, I don't know, what do you think, 5 years? So today's guest has 20 plus years in the network marketing industry at the corporate level and is currently vice president of support services with his current company. Eric has traveled to 36 different countries and has built strong relationships with many people in the network marketing industry. Eric assisted in the growth of a billion-dollar company from its early stages and currently works for a leading company in the industry. His favorite responsibility is to work in the field with the distributors. Please help me welcome our guest, Eric Anderson. Eric, are you there?
I am here. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for that introduction. I appreciate that.
It's great to have you here. I know you're busy. You have a lot of corporate responsibilities today, but we really appreciate you being on the show. I think it's very important for the audience to be able to dive in and see and understand and have the opportunity to ask questions about the inner workings of the corporate side of network marketing, something that seems a little mysterious, like the Wizard of Oz. So today we get to pull back the curtain and check that out. Eric, before we get started, would you just share a little more information about yourself for about 45 to 60 seconds worth?
Yeah, not a problem. I feel very lucky to have found my way into this industry, and I was pursuing a path of being a teacher, a high school teacher, and I had the certification and all of that. And I think, like a lot of you that are listening, is that sometimes a phone call changes your life. Sometimes it's a phone call to get into this business or this industry. Well, that happened to me. A phone call from a friend of mine from college called me up while I was living in Iowa with my little family, and he said, "Why don't you check out this company that's based in Utah?" Well, I had gone to school in Utah and was looking to move back to Utah, and I went out and interviewed, and they offered me a job in network marketing, and I thought, well, I could probably teach maybe, but this opportunity may not come again. And so I decided to go for it, and it was it was and has been a wonderful ride and a wonderful career that I'd launched way back in those days, just after finishing college. And so 20 years later, I've had a wonderful experience working with associates, working with good companies, working with great products, and having an opportunity to what we feel like as a company is helping people grow and making a difference in people's lives, both from an entrepreneurial point of view and from a product and health point of view. So I don't know if that's 45 seconds, but that's kind of my introduction into this business. All started with that very, very important phone call from a friend. And that phone call has changed my life dramatically. So there we go.
Great. I'm grateful you shared that story. I remember you shared that story with me once before, but I'd forgotten that that's how you got involved in this industry. Okay, so let's get started here with the first question that we have. And what is the most important thing someone should consider before joining a network marketing company? And I ask that question because, like you received the call that night, and so many individuals receive calls from their best friend, and they just will sign up for whatever reason. But from the corporate standpoint, what do you see as the most important thing or that individuals should consider before just jumping on board?
Yeah, there's a number of things that are important, and I'll kind of highlight, I suppose, maybe what I think is the most important thing. And I think you have to have a real strong feeling about the product that the company is selling. If you're comfortable with that product and its uniqueness and its efficacy and its quality, and it's something that you can feel confident sharing with your friends and family and other people that you meet, I think that's a really important first step in terms of your journey with that particular company. How did I like the product? How do I think other people are going to like the product? Is it backed by good science and data? Is there a good feeling about it? And that would, if I were going to say the one most important thing, I would say it's about looking at that product and is that a fit for you? Is that something that you feel comfortable selling and talking about and sharing?
Yeah, and that's great, and I appreciate that you have that point of view. Honestly, I've been in opportunity meetings in the past where the speaker stands up and says, "I love this industry. I don't care if they were selling horsemen or as long as we can make money doing it." And that philosophy has always kind of rubbed me in the wrong way. And so I appreciate you coming up with the product there. So basically what you're saying is, when the friend calls, you go to the opportunity meeting, you listen, try the product for a day or two before you just jump on board. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, great. So when someone is doing their due diligence before joining a network marketing company, what should they be looking for?
Okay, and that's a great question because there's a number of things that you're looking for, and I think it's kind of summed up in one word, and it's culture. And I think you're looking for a fit. You're looking for a culture of people that maybe share your values, that are similar in terms of who you are and how you operate and how you do business and that kind of thing. I think that's really important. And culture is also made up of who are who is this company, who is it led by, what are the type of people that are leading this company that you're joining, who are the leaders in the field that you're working with, are they people that you can relate to and feel comfortable with? And so that's kind of part of the culture. And then there's that integrity piece, and that's what are their values, what do they believe in? Are you going to be lined up with something that you feel like you can do this business honorably and with credibility? And so those are some of the things that I think you're looking for. You're also looking for a track record of some stability. You're looking for a track record of can people earn an income with this business opportunity? Does the company operate efficiently? Does the product get delivered to people when it's supposed to be delivered? What is their level of support that they can offer you as an independent associate? What is the technology platform that they're on? Is it easy to use? Is it simple? Is it effective? What are the tools that the company may offer in terms of training tools and recruiting tools and presentation tools and all of those things? Because in a way, you're going into business, and obviously there's a lot that goes into going into business, and part of it is kind of that franchise kind of feeling, is that, okay, what is the company offering me in terms of training, in terms of tools, in terms of systems, in terms of reliability, in terms of product delivery, and all those kinds of things. And so when you're making this very important business decision, you're wanting to kind of check those things out and see if those things are working, for the associates that have been involved in the business. And so anyways, so those are just some of the things that if I were on the other side looking at the company, I would be wanting to look at those things, that culture, the business systems, the operational efficiency and effectiveness, and how reliable the company is going forward, and their stability. So there's a lot there, but those are a few things.
Well, I'm going to dive in just a little deeper on some of that, because I love the culture aspect, and does the company have my values, etc. So obviously when I'm local and I'm recruited locally, it's easy to find out the values, the culture of the local distributors. But how not everyone can travel to the corporate office, and a lot of companies are so big that even if someone did travel to the corporate office, they're like, "Who are you?" And so, how can someone really find out what the culture is at the corporate level, with if they're unable to go and visit with the executives such as yourself?
Yeah, that's a great question, and oftentimes that's not easy because there's an expense involved in trying to come out to the company or go to a convention where you have a chance to meet people. Oftentimes many companies are sending some of the executives on the road to an opportunity meeting, to a special regional event, and so that's a real great opportunity for somebody to at least meet somebody from the company so they can kind of get a feeling for who they are and what they're all about. And then you can go into most companies have a website, and they have a list of their executives and some of the things that maybe they've accomplished in their careers, or where they're coming from. At least you can get a photo of them, and then you talk to people about the company, and you talk to other associates who have met some of the leaders in the company, and at the end of the day, it's kind of a trust equation. You're looking for those people that you trust, and you're trying to make your best judgment in terms of who these people are, and if they are who they seem to be. And so, and a lot of it is you can tell by their fruits. You shall know them, if they're a good leader and that kind of thing, by the culture that they've kind of created. What kind of products are they selling? What kind of systems do they have? What kind of operations are they running? What kind of international scope has been developed for the company? So those are some things that I would suggest.
Okay, great. Appreciate that. That's awesome. So, Eric, a lot of times network marketing is called a scam, a pyramid scheme, or whatever. And there's a big difference between a legitimate network marketing company and a pyramid scheme. So when someone's working on their due diligence, how can they distinguish the difference between the two?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. That comes up a lot. Basically, and it goes down to kind of that first question that you asked me about what's the most important thing to look for. And I think it goes back to the product. If the company is all about making money, and the product is really doesn't matter, or is kind of a token product, or maybe there's no product. A pure illegal pyramid scheme is where they're just changing money, and money's just changing hand, and there is no product. And then a pyramid scheme that is kind of masked by a product, token product, that can be an illegal scheme too, where all the money is made on the recruiting side of the business. And then there's the real business, the real network marketing, a direct selling company that has real products sold to real people who really like them. And that's what you're looking for, is are there real customers that are buying this product on a regular basis, they're happy with these products, and that people are earning income because people are using the product, they like the product, and they're sharing the product. And so that's really the acid test, if you will, is if there's a core product and there are customers using this product, and that recruiting isn't the whole idea around, or the whole business concept around making money in the business.
Great. Yeah, I appreciate that. And that, you talk about the product, and that's one thing that I always find humorous when I've been out recruiting, and people say, well, I don't like network marketing because you have to buy the product. They make you buy the product, be a product of the product, so to speak. And I always found that interesting, because I'm like, okay, A, how are you going to promote the product if you don't buy it? And B, in my earlier days, I sold life insurance. And guess what the first thing was that they made me do when I went in the office on my first day? They gave me a life insurance application, said, fill it out. So I had to become a product of the product to do that. And that actually brings up a story. It's kind of a sideline here, but I think it's a good time to bring this up. When I was selling life insurance, and kind of listen to this and see if you agree with it on the network marketing side, is when I was in life insurance industry, I was at a training one day, and the speaker made a comment, and he said, I can tell each and every one of you how much life insurance and what type of life insurance you will sell each month based on two questions. And those questions are: one, how much life insurance do you have on yourself? And what type of policy do you have? Because that is what you're going to sell. What you own is what you're going to sell in the life insurance industry. And and I thought about that at the time, and he was dead right. And I talked to a couple of the other agents in there, and they all said, yeah, I sell what I own myself. And so do you find that in the network marketing industry, that individuals kind of promote and move the most product on what they are using themselves?
Yeah, I mean, it's a, we use the phrase, you can't sell from an empty wagon. Okay, for one thing, if you're going into business, you need a little bit of product to sell. Not a lot, a little bit. You know, we're not talking about loading up somebody's house with product that you're not going to be moving in the next month. But you need a little bit of product to sell. And obviously, if you're really going to be effective selling a particular product, then it's good to have your own personal story about that particular product. And so being a product, like you said, being a product of the product is very important. And let's say you've got a line of different products that maybe your wife really likes the skincare line, but that's not something that maybe you use every single day. And so you've got stories of other people that are close to you that are using that particular product, and they really like it. And so sometimes you may not have to use all the products completely every single day, but you should have a core belief in the line of products that you have, and a real good feeling for them and an experience with them. You know, either it's your own personal experience or somebody that's close to you that has had a great experience with it. Maybe you don't need to lose weight, but you've got a weight management system, but you've got friends or other people that have had wonderful experiences with that product. Then you can share that experience too. So anyways, I think that answers the question.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well. And the only thing is, are you telling me I need to lose weight there by that last comment?
Absolutely not. You're perfect just the way you are.
now you're fibbing a little bit. What type of, and this is always a big controversy when I'm talking to individuals in the industry. What type of training should come from corporate versus the field leaders, the diamonds, the upline, whatever you want to call it in your organization?
Okay. Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, some associates and leaders have put together training that is very, very effective and very, very good. These are field leaders. And it's a great thing when a new associate comes into an organization that has already put together, great training. And then the company's role is that there are lots of associates that come in to organizations where maybe the training is a little bit, I don't want to use the word weak, but it's not as strong as some of the other more established organizations. And so they need training too, and so the company can come in and kind of backfill, if you will, with some training in the starter kit. Generally there should be some training, some basic ideas in terms of how to do network marketing and what are some things that a new person should learn. And so you've got the company coming in with some basic training, and then you've got the leaders out in the field really doing the most of the work in regards to the training, because they're in the field, in the trenches. They know their area, they know their culture, they know the nuances of this business, and so they're the best ones prepared to really do the hands-on training. And one thing about training too is that there's a there's part of it is personal development, okay, and that's one of the great things about network marketing is that there's a lot of personal development, and also is that skill training is a person learning to do a personal story in let's say less than 2 minutes, if that's kind of the culture of your company, or somebody learning how to do an invitation where they're actually learning how to do that, or somebody learning how to do a presentation. And so all of that skill training is really important because that'll help an associate become more effective, learning about their products, learning about the technology, learning how to sign somebody up using their mobile app or online. And so all of those things are components of the training that really needs to take place for an associate to really have a nice opportunity to start earning income quite quickly because they've been able to go through the training and learn the steps on how to do the business.
Okay, and that's great. And you gave me an idea there. And excuse me, I am going to have to figure out how to get my next book inside the training kit of the starter kits of a couple of these companies to jumpstart that training there. So how important are the corporate executives such as yourself in the success of the me as a distributor? Should I even worry about you as an executive, or you have any bearing upon my success or not?
Okay, that's a good question. Ultimately, a person's success is determined by their own efforts, and it's really not by somebody else. It's not even by your upline or the corporate executive. If you've got a good product, a strong compensation plan, and the products get delivered to people like they're supposed to be, then the company is in a large way done what they're supposed to do. They're paying you accurately, they're sending you product, you're sending your customers product, they've got a good quality product, and then now it's your opportunity to learn the skills and share that business opportunity with the associates or with prospects. And so the company's role in somebody's success is in their personal success is kind of limited, actually. I mean, the thing that the company has to do, and these network marketing businesses are quite complicated as far as the business goes. You've got the international scope, you've got some very sophisticated technical systems that have to be overseen. You've got customer support, you've got supply chain management, you've got accounting and commissions and all of that. There's a lot of things to manage in a company, and so you let the company executives manage all of that. And then the associate, the distributor, goes out and they do their business and they grow their business as large as they want to, or maybe they just want to do it part-time and they do a small business, and that's all okay. And so to answer your question is that what role does the executive play in the success of an individual associate? Well, hopefully they've created a good company, but the associate at that point, it's their job to make it happen, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my opinion.
My philosophy is use the executive, keep the company strong, keep it moving forward. But as a distributor, a rep, it's our job to really account for ourselves. And I like to tell individuals, because in this industry, Eric, this, there's a lot of shiny objects floating around there. There's a brand new startup company seems like every week. Hey, come join this ground floor opportunity. My cousin made $1 billion in 5 minutes in this other company, or, our product's better, whatever. And I just like to simply tell individuals, what? Look around your company that you're with, because something brought you there, be it the product, be it your upline, be it comp plan, whatever. Something brought you to that specific company. And if you're not having the success you desire, look around. And if there's other associates having the success that you desire, the problem is not with the company, it's not with the comp plan, it's not with the product, but it's the person looking back at you in the mirror every morning. And that may sound a little harsh, but as business owners, we all need to take responsibility for our own success. So thank you very much.
Right.
As a distributor, and we talked about the shiny objects. As a distributor, if I'm looking for a new opportunity, should I look for that ground floor opportunity, or should I be looking for a more stable company? And I know you and I, we talked a little bit about that the other day, and we could probably really go back and forth on this for 2 or 3 days, but we'll try to keep it a little shorter than that.
Sure. Yeah, it's a good, it's a great question, and I've worked for both, and I've evolved with both when the company were new, and then I was with the company when they were new, as they grow and they become more mature, and so is the opportunity better in the beginning than it is at the end? Well, in the more stable, mature company, you have systems that are working more efficiently, and operationally, things are in a little bit better place. When the company is brand new, it's kind of exciting because this is a brand new opportunity. It's something that no one's really heard of before. And so they're excited to kind of get into something that's brand new, and they become the bigger fish in a smaller pond, if you will. And sometimes that's exciting for the right kind of person. And other people, they're looking for less risk, and they want to go with something that's very established, and there's not any worry that this company is going to be around for the next 10 years. And so there's a place for that too. And so it kind of depends on what kind of risk level you're willing to take on. A stable company, obviously they've got lots of success stories, and they're gonna be around for a long time. And sometimes though it's fun to work for a smaller company that's on the move and they're growing, and you just have to be a little bit more willing to kind of take some of the operational glitches that may happen in a new company.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it kind of goes back to that risk opportunity, because like you say, there's risks in the new company. Network marketing is just like any other company out there. 80-90% of all businesses fail within the first year. Well, the same is true for network marketing companies. But if you're willing to take that risk, and that depends on individuals, circumstances, situations. In my younger days, I loved that brand new ground floor opportunity, because I like to be in there, and I like to go in and rub shoulders with the executives and say, hi, how you doing? But on the other hand, it was a little glitchy when they didn't pay you because they didn't have this system in place, or the orders didn't work because they didn't have that in place. So it all depends, and my personal philosophy on that is, if, and I'm just going to use a generic term here, if there's a nutritional company out there, in network marketing, and it's being successful, and there's another nutritional company that starts up today, and you can argue with me if you want, Eric. Just because I'm the host of the show doesn't mean you need to agree with me. And so, but if there's an opportunity for that startup company with that nutritional product, guess what? There's still an opportunity in that existing company as well, in my opinion. And so would you agree, disagree, tell me I'm crazy or what about that last statement?
Okay, I believe that if you're kind of asking the question, the ground floor versus stable company, right?
Right.
If I understood the question right, I
Right,
apologize. Yeah. And I just like I said before, is that there's a trade-off in terms of risk. Mm-hmm. And if you're inclined to want to be with the new company and be able to rub shoulders with the executives and the founders and that kind of thing, then there's an excitement around that, and there's some nice opportunities that come with that. And when you're with that bigger company, you just don't have that sometimes you just don't have that opportunity to connect with some of the founding executives and things like that, because it's just so big you can't get to them. And so there's some real advantages to working with the smaller company, and at the same time the stability is attractive for those big companies.
Okay, and we have a question here, so we're going to ask that. It's about time to wrap up, and I'm just going to read this blind. I haven't had a chance to review it. It says, what are your thoughts on the best way to change the negative stigma of network marketing industry as a whole? And that's by Rich Phillips. So thanks, Rich, for
the best way to change the kind of, you said the negative.
Yeah, the negative stigma. How can we go through?
Oh, the negative stigma. Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah, it comes down to one by one associates acting and performing their jobs in a professional way. What gives the industry a bad name is one, possibly a bad company, okay, kind of creating a culture that's not a good culture, and then it's associates individually not representing the company maybe accurately and things like that. And so in my opinion, it's the degree to which people have a good experience with this industry because they've enjoyed the product, they've enjoyed the experience, they haven't been, there's not a feeling like they've been manipulated or something like that. And it kind of comes down to training. It comes down to corporate training, leadership training, is teaching people how to kind of do this business at another level of professionalism. And so, in my opinion, in order to reduce or remove or mitigate the negative stigma surrounding network marketing, is that each of us representing it well and honestly, that we can change, one person at a time. And so that's how I look at it. And I think it comes down to training and training on how to do it ethically and on core values and doing it right, because it's a wonderful business. When done right, it's a beautiful thing. And then people will not be hurt if it's done right. So.
Yeah, and I think you're so right there. I think, the real key is under promise and over deliver, and that's with any business that you're in, under promise, over deliver. And, I personally think in the earlier days of network marketing, I think individuals may have had a tendency to over promise and under deliver a little bit. And so it's all about professionalism. You as an associate, you act professional, and then, like Eric says, go ahead and train your associates. Teach them how to do the business professionally and appropriately. I was actually talking to an individual last week, and they made a comment that they're great at guilting people into buying their product. Well, that's a very short-term success ratio. People can only be guilted in so many times unless they just really fall in love with that product. So, and plus it's not a very professional aspect of it. So Eric, our time is up and we need to let you get back to work. But before we go, are there any final thoughts that you'd like to share with the audience? Just anything that comes to your mind that can help those on the show today?
Yeah, just one final thought, and I think Lou Holtz, a coach, somebody that I respect, and he said this in his book, Winning Every Day, and he said, when you're looking at a company, or you're looking at people, or you're looking at a prospect or something, you're kind of looking for four things. And I'll leave you with this. He says you're looking for somebody that cares. Okay, do they really care about other people, about helping people in an honest way? The second thing is the trust. Can I trust this person? Are they reliable? Are they accountable? Do they keep confidences? Do they have integrity? All that goes into trust. And then the third one is what's the competency? Are they competent? Can they do the task that's put in front of them? And then the fourth one is are they committed to excellence? Are they committed for the long term, and are they committed to doing their best and doing a good job? And I think those four things, those four ideas kind of help us all assess a company, assess a person, assess ourselves. You know, are we meeting up to those standards? And so anyway, so that's just the last parting thought that I wanted to share with you today.
Okay, great. And I appreciate that. And actually, just to be honest, right up front and full disclosure, I'm going to steal that and start using it. Since you stole it from Lou, I'm going to steal it from you. So, but I would like to in closing, thank our audience for participating. Make sure you share this on your timeline so that your friends, associates, upline, downline can benefit from Eric's insight into the industry. And of course, join us next week at 11 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time, right here on Escape the 9 to 5. And until then, to your marketing success.